Grouping the notes and rests in compound time signature. So compound time signature 6/8 gives us two groups by 1.5 beat. It can be single dotted crochet, and we have to notice that we cannot add it as like whole one group, because in this case it's going to be 3/4. In 6/8 we have to add twice by 1.5 beat. It should be not medium with a crochet like in time signature 3/4. Compound time signature can include two groups by semi-quiver notes, which altogether can make for us 1.5 beat, or crochet with a dot, or any other groups, mixed groups, which make for us 1.5 beat in total. So, but in time signature 12/8, we can use two full beats as like the dotted mini. Now about the rests. You can write one beat rest for each new beat. So if you have time signature 9/8, you have to use 3 times by 1.5. So your each rest going to be separately one from another. So each beat has one rest. We can see it here as well in 12/8 that second and third beat has its own rest each. As well, you can replace crochet with a dot by the crochet with a quiver. However, in 12/8 you can also use the medium with the dot for the first two beats or for the last two beats. So for the beat number 1 and 2 we can use dotted medium, or for the third and fourth beat we can use with you as well dotted medium, but not for the middle. Compound time signature completely silent bar use semi-reef without the dot. When the crochet with the dot include the rest, we can use crochet with a quiver rest, or quiver rest with a crochet note, or quiver note and two more quiver rest, or crochet and quiver note. It's acceptable but rarely used. Remember that new beat needs a new rest. Each time you have to use the new rest for each new beat, so you have to follow double, triple, or quadruple time signature. Yes, so we have to use with quavers for the first, dotted crochet for the second, crochet with a half for the next, and the last crochet with it. With the semi-quavers you have to use the same rule, so each bead has to use its own rest, so altogether it should give us 1.5 bead, no any dotted rests. Okay, so let's see how it will gonna work. At the beginning we have with you 9/8. 9/8 it's triple compound time signature, which used 3 times by 1.5 beat. In this case we have to count clearly each time by 1.5. So first we have with you half, another half, then crochet, two more halves, crochet and half, and let's see, we have two halves, and from this crochet we have to take only the half. So in this case we have to subdivide this crochet between two beads. So we can see with you a C, then quiver rest, another C quiver. In this case, like it was the one bead, we have to join them together under one line and to feed the quiver rest in between. One half we used, another half we joined to next group by the tie. We show that this note is hold on, and we join all together this second group. The last group is fine, it 1.5 beat. Next bar looks similar like the first bar, so we have with you again to subdivide the crochet C on two halves. So just let's write it until the end, two halves, another this crochet we subdivide between two, and the last is fine. So we write them same way like we wrote just the bar number 1, then we add the tie, then we rewrite all left quavers, join them by 3, then we have natural B and the crochet G. Next example, it's 6/8, so it 2 times by 1.5 beat. We write with you F sharp and C sharp, 6/8, it's duple time signature, and we start from a beat. In a beat we join these two notes together, it's incomplete bar, and now we start to check value of the notes. We have to collect 1.5 beat for each. So the first 1.5, the second 1.5. In this case, we rewrite with you F, G, F. F is quaver with a dot with a semiquaver in between. And the next group is similar, quaver with a dot, semiquaver, and quaver at the end. Next one, we have with you 3 halves, then crochet and half. We join with you the first 3 halves together, and we get with you the 1.5 beat and another 1.5 beat. Another 3 halves, another 3 halves, so we join by 3 again, because all together they make for us the group 1.5 beat. We join the next together, and here we add the stems going down, then triple E, 3 halves, and 1 crochet, etc., because we have incomplete bar. Join these together, and etc. Now we have with you the next one. It's 12/8. It's quadruple compound time signature, which used 4 groups, 1 by 1.5 beat. We write F sharp and the C sharp, 12/8. First crochet, quaver, 3 quavers, crochet, quaver, 3 more quavers, and let's join 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. Next 1.5, 1.5. These two we can sum together. They fall under 1 beat, and at the end we have 1 and crochet. So here I would like to show you that it's compulsory to subdivide the crochet rest on 2 halves. So we start to rewrite it with the joining by 1.5 beat, like we circle with you above, and the next one, next bar, and here we reach with you to the tie. Like these two notes fall under 1 beat, we add the dotted crochet, and at the end 2 quaver rests. Now this one. So it's 9/8, triple compound time signature, 3 times by 1.5 beat. And we have at the beginning the semi-brief. Semi-brief gives for us 4 beats. Let's see. Semi-brief, it's 2 minims, it's 4 crochets, and it 8 quavers. But we have to remember that we need to join them by 1.5. So we join with you first 3, second 3, and for us left 1 more beat. How it's going to be? We have to write with you dotted crochet, then another dotted crochet, then for us left crochet just, we join it by tie, yes, and each of it is 1.5, and at the end we have 1 more half, which make for us full beat. Now we have with you the minim. So minim, it's 4 quavers. So we have with you once 1.5 beat and quavers. So let's write it. 4 quavers, where the first 3 makes for us the 1.5 beat and half left. So we have to write with you dotted crochet, then we have with you already dotted crochet, so we have to rewrite it, yes, but 1 more half left for us, and we have to join it with the previous group, or with the next group, sorry. Then we have with you 1.5 beat, 1.5 beat, crochet with a half. So in this bar there is no any mistakes, we have just to rewrite it like it is. And the last bar you can see that it is similar like we subdivide with you at the beginning. Just at the end we have to write with you 2 quaver rest. It's the rule which you have to memorize. Next example, in 12/8 we have 3 flats at the beginning, and at the beginning we start with you from the half, then 1.5, then this is the semi-brief, 4 beats. We have to use with you 4 groups by 1.5 in each. So with quadruple compound time signature. At the beginning we have with you the half, and you remember that after the quaver we need to use 2 more quavers. Now we have to use with you 1.5 beat. And then how much for us left? It should be something from the semi-brief. In case it's going to be minim with a dot. This is the real nice grouping for this bar. Let's see how it works. So we have with you quaver, then dotted crochet and semi-brief rest. So from this group we have half, then this we subdivide on 3 halves, and the semi-brief, you remember there are 8 halves, 8 quavers. How we join them? The first 3 one and a half, the next three one and a half, and you remember that the last two beads also can be joined together under the minim with a dot. So in this case, we have with you the first dotted crochet, second dotted crochet, and at the end, minim with a dot. And only this all we have to write with the rests. So the first is quiver note, then two more quiver rests. Then we have with you three more rests. Yes, we have to use the rests only, which we can show by the crochet with a dot. And the last is going to be minim rest with a dot. In this case, we have it all written here. Next one is the minim, two beads in a bar. So like you remember, the minim makes for us four quavers. In this case, we join with you the first three together at 1.5 bead and one more half left for us. So we write with you the first crochet with a dot, then you remember that for us left one more half from the previous one. So half plus half will make for us the crochet together, and we join by tie. Then for us we need to add one more half, yes, because our bead is 1.5. This is complete bead, so in this case we add with you one more half separately, and then for us left all other quavers we have to join together by 3, because we need to have with you 1.5 bead, 1.5 in each bead. That's why we join them by 3 quavers, and the last is crochet with a dot, etc. at the end. I will ask you to complete all these tasks and to complete your homework and to send it to my email. Thank you for your attention.